Good evening, everyone.
Uh, uh. I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken languages, spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fam's on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was scarred with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while sizzling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos. Okay.
Oh, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Knicks at Night podcast. I am your host, Hoodie Kev. I apologize for my tardiness. But here we are. Here, can y'all see me? I don't know if I look grainy. I feel like I'm grainy when I look at it on screen for some reason. I want everyone to see me clearly. How are we all doing tonight? Our future gaming salute. Juju92, listen, I had to work. I literally have been in the house for 50 minutes. And so, I like to wash, get something to eat, settle in from, the actual job, and then settle in doing this. So I hope you all forgive me for taking some time to settle in this. Robert Parr. This is not easy. You can't just jump on after being out at work all day long. Like, oh, this is easy. It's not. I'm sure Uncle Freezy will be joining in soon. Probably saying something like, I'm anti-Nick or I'm ridiculous and this is a The Knocks at Night show. Something along those lines, right? But by God, we got 23 people watching. Yes, everyone, I am late. I'm so sorry I have a full-time job. So, I guess it's me and you for the moment. Chat and I, everyone watching at home, or, if you're on the graveyard shift listening in, I appreciate that you chose the Knicks at Night to get you through the night, or some of it, because I ain't gonna be with you all night. I beat you for a little bit of it, but ain't all night. So, and I'm sure you saw the conference finals game between the Phoenix Suns and Los Angeles Clippers tonight. Just another reason why getting that star player is important. See, I had to think, like, Uncle Frizzy wants to build through the draft and he wants those homegrown stars. But I believe we already have them. I believe RJ Barrett will be that homegrown star. That star that's going to help take us to the next level. That's what I believe. Um, as we all know how I feel about number 20, I believe he's also going to help us to go to that next level. So the question is, Eli M. Salute, I appreciate it, Boost Mobile. So the question is this, right? Knicks fans, I understand that you all are hesitant about spending the money, right? And I understand that. I understand your trepidations. But I want y'all to see something, right? So we're down to the final four: the Clippers, the Suns, the Bucks, and the Hawks. And what we have to realize is a lot of these teams have spent big money on bringing in some big guns. The Clippers, for example, that's without said. We all know what the Clippers have spent on their stars brought in. Um, even the Hawks, which I thought it was funny thinking about it. Like Bogdanovich spurned the Milwaukee Bucks this past offseason. They go sign with the Atlanta Hawks, only to be playing the Bucks in the conference finals. Isn't that funny? But the Hawks spending money on Gallinari and um Bogdanovich, spending the money to absorb the contract of Clint Capella. Even the Bucks, they traded for a young Chris Middleton, paid him, brought in Brook Lopez, paid him, brought in Drew Holiday, paid him. Um, the Suns did a very good job. They drafted Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton, but they also paid big money to bring in Chris Paul and paid money to Jay Crowder, and Cam Johnson was brought in off the scrap heap. What I'm trying to say to you is this: you have to spend the money. To quote Jerry Maguire, show me the money. We saw what the 1 year wonders of Alec Burks and Nerlens Noels and Reggie Bullocks and Alfred Paytons and the last Derrick Roses, the Taj Gibsons. We see what they got us. And everyone says, listen to this, we won 41 games, fourth seed. But everyone says we overachieved. If everyone says we overachieved with this group, why would you think that running it back or having a similar success is something that's guaranteed? It's not. What's guaranteed is I know for a fact player X is going to give me 20 points a game, 7 assists a game. He's going to play adequate enough defense. He's going to roll. He's going to make everyone else around him better. Regardless of the price tag. Because this is the thing, if you make $35, $40, $45 million. There's something that you have done in this league to warrant you having this kind of salary. They don't give these kind of salaries to PJ Tucker. You have done something of sustained excellence to warrant the money that you get if you are a max contract player. Right? So as Knicks fans, you say, oh, we're still rebuilding, we're still da-da-da-da-da. And we're not. The Knicks are no longer rebuilding because we overachieved and got the 41 wins. So anything less than that, regardless of what Uncle Freezy is going to tell you, anything less than that could be sitting here and be seen as a failure. Because 1 year from now, if the Knicks don't have the type of success or similar success that we've had this year, what are we all going to be sitting here saying? Huh? What are we going to what are y'all going to say to yourselves if Knicks miss the playoffs next year? Or we're the 8th seed and get swept in the first round because we ran it back and had these rookies that our coach isn't going to rely on that much. Are y'all going to be happy because we're still stuck with the process? Be honest with yourselves. Are y'all going to be happy if the Knicks miss the playoffs next year because we stuck with the process of building it slow and going through the draft? Are y'all going to be happy waiting for lottery night, figuring out that y'all going to be drafted in 13th in the lottery? I mean, I want to know. Is that a legit question? If we build it slow and we miss the playoffs next year because Chicago got better, because Boston got better, because Miami got better, and we are building it slow. So we're going to take a step back because we overachieved this year. We overachieved and we didn't bring anybody in. We didn't bring in the necessary reinforcements to keep up with everyone else. And we missed the playoffs by a game. Are you Knicks fans out there? Are y'all going to be happy? Ask yourselves this. Uncle Freezy, you there?
Yeah, kinda.
Ooh,
Not
that
really.
came out loud. Hold on. Go ahead. Oh, well. So, here's the, if you're not going to be happy, right? If you miss the playoffs and it's like, oh, well, we did it the right way. It just didn't work out. No, we missed the playoffs because Julius Randle, is he going to have the same type of success again? I don't know. I don't know. I hope. I don't know. What he did in the playoffs ain't helping. If that's a blueprint moving forward for teams, so Ben Simmons is probably off the table. I think Philadelphia came out today and said that he's going to be one of the centerpieces of their team moving forward. Now, could that be lip service? Maybe. Could they be telling the truth and really value Ben Simmons and feel like if he tweaks some things, they could be better? I mean, they were the number one team in the Eastern Conference for a reason with Ben Simmons, so it's not an unfair belief that if he was more aggressive offensively and actually shot the ball, I don't know. I mean, maybe he'll just never be able to shoot. It happens. Not everybody can shoot. I've pounded the table for the De'Aaron Foxes of the world. I've pounded the table for the Russell Westbrooks of the world. I need a guy that I know that's going to get me when the tip off begins. I know this guy's going to give me 20 points a night. I don't know how he's going to do it. I just know at the end of the game, the box score is going to say he gave me 20 points tonight and 7-8 assists minimum. I can write it down. That's what the Knicks need. No Julian Blum. No. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this very clear. My belief, and I read some article. I read plenty of articles the last couple of days because I didn't want Uncle Freezy to make it seem like I didn't know what I was talking about. You might like these kids. They might be good college kids. They might be good players. I haven't actually watched them play. I've read articles about what scouts have said about these players. I've seen the combine workouts. So I'll say this. There is no player in this draft in the teens that's going to come in and have an immediate star impact on this team. Not one. Not your Book Knights, not your Jalen Greens. Nobody that you are going to get in the teens or 20s is going to have an immediate impact on this team next year. And I know you're having a Fred G. Sanford moment right now. You're probably calling for Elizabeth. Oh, it's a big one. Rest in peace, Fred Fox. But we cannot sit here and be like, we're going to compete with an improving such and such team with this rookie. And our head coach is Tom Thibodeau. Because if you think a rookie is going to come in here as much as us fans might like him, if you sit down and be like, is Tom Thibodeau really going to play this rookie meaningful minutes that's going to make a true impact? No. 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 Is Russell Westbrook going to have a meaningful impact? Yes. Yes. Is De'Aaron Fox have a meaningful impact? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. So, what are we going to do, Knicks fans? Because we have to do something. If you standing packed is the equivalent of moving backwards. C-Mac, Russell Westbrook is washed up. Russell Westbrook averaged 22 points a game, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists, shot 43% from the field this season. If that's washed up, then sign me up. If averaging, and I don't care how we got it, I don't care how you get it. If you average in a 72 game, 60 out of 65, you play 65 games out of 72, and you average 22, 11, and 11. How many players are doing that? How many players are averaging 20 points and 11 rebounds? How many point guards are averaging 20 points and 11 assists? How many players are averaging 20 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists together combined? One. Think about that for a second. How many point guards are averaging 20 points and 10 assists a game? All these elite point guards, 20 points, 10 assists a game. One. One point guard in this league is averaging 20 and 10. Not Damian Lillard, not Chris Paul, not even De'Aaron Fox or Colin Sexton or Ben Simmons or anybody else. No other point guard is averaging 20 and 10 except Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, who's washed up, according to C-Mac, led the NBA in assists a game. That's washed up. All right. Washed up. Hmm. I'm not saying that he's not a player that he used to be. I mean uh to maintain that type of production is probably crazy, right? You know, Russell Westbrook, who's washed up, who was third in minutes per game, so he's already a Tom Thibodeau player, right? Third in the minutes per game this season for a guy who's washed up. The only two people who played more than him is Julius Randle and Fred VanVleet. Right? The only player this season to average 10 plus assists a game. But he's washed up, according to C-Mac. No. See, man, it's not the fact that he gets us over the hump, because what is the hump exactly? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. What is the hump? Because the current hump for the Knicks is the first round. That's the hump. Does Russell Westbrook get us out of the first round? Possibly. Maybe. Winning is not winning in sports is not guaranteed. If that was the case, then there would be no point in um, there'll be no point in playing the season. There'll be no point in the off-season favorite should just go ahead, get a championship. We can just skip the whole season if winning was something that was guaranteed. If winning was guaranteed, we should be expecting the Lakers and the Nets to be playing in the NBA Finals. So the hump for the New York Knicks is getting out of the first round. And I can bet my bottom dollar that if you put Russell Westbrook with RJ Barrett and Julius Randle, the Knicks have a way better chance of getting out of the first round of the Eastern Conference. I'd put anything on it. If you put Russell Westbrook with Julius Randle and RJ Barrett, the Knicks will get out the first round. Am I 100% positive? Nope. I'm not. If I was a betting man, would I say that with confidence? Yeah, probably. More than likely. So, because if you take his salary away, it's like, oh, he gonna shoot you out the game. But you want a Ben Simmons that won't shoot at all. And Uncle Freezy came on here and made it seem like Russell Westbrook is a horrible defender. I don't know if he's a horrible defender. I think that's a little bit unfair to say. I think if you put a decent defender in a Tom Thibodeau defensive scheme, he's not going to do anything to hurt you. Because Derrick Rose has never, ever been considered a good defender. But that's one of Tom Thibodeau's darlings. And Uncle Freeze like, well, that's because they have history together. That still don't make him a good defender at all. I've seen it with my own two eyes. Derrick Rose get abused by, Grant Trae Young is abusing everybody, it turns out. So I guess we can take solace in that fact. Russell Westbrook is a very good defensive player. Russell Westbrook mentally is the dog that you all crave, that y'all want. Oh, we want the dog. That's Russell Westbrook to a T. Anybody want to punk Russell Westbrook on the basketball court? So what are we really saying when it comes to Russell Westbrook? Like, why are y'all so afraid? Oh, he makes $44 million. We won't be able to. Let me break something to you. Let me wake you up out of this slumber that you're on. You can say the Knicks are a destination now. Oh, players are going to want to play in New York now. Okay, we're all right. I'll believe that when I see it. When it happens, that's when I believe it. But I've been down the rabbit hole too many times, or the Knicks going to get this player, we're the favorite, they're going to get it. Say what you want about Stephen A. Smith. I saw this man go on national television on the most watched sports TV show in the country. And he said, book it, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are going to the Knicks. Or these escape Kevin Durant. I need y'all help to answer this question. Does Kevin Durant play for the New York Knicks? Because I know he's in this. I know he's in the city. Sarge, what's going on?
What's good with you, Kev? What's good with you? What's good with you?
Oh, let's keep having people entertained.
you are doing that. That I must say, you are doing. Look, you got me in here running around this hotel room like Uncle Freezy, please let me on, please. Well, it's good to see you, brother. It's good to see you. I miss you guys.
Good to see you too. I was a little bit thrown off because I saw the post for, I guess, that which you and
Cornerstone
are doing.
Right.
So I was like, oh, okay. So I figured because it was on there, it was coming on today.
Originally, so let me give the people some background here, right? So when I talked to Uncle Freezy, we had talked about doing it today, but based on the schedule I'm on, because I'm traveling, I'm not at home right now, and then Kev has some things going on, we had to push it off a week, and that was unexpected, unseen. I thought that we could maybe put something together, but what we don't want to do is just put something a rush product out there, and this just gives us a little bit more time. And you know, honestly, it's that thing that you do in business called advertisement, right? So it gives the people that little hint, like, I want to see what's really going on. So you know, you build up that anticipation. You ever been someplace and just walking around, not really thinking about it, and you walk past like this restaurant district, and you start smelling the food cooking. You wasn't hungry before, but you get that hint of that aroma, and then you're like, oh man, that smells good. Hey, let's go in here and try this right here. I ain't never had this. I want subliminal messages, brother. That's what we're doing right now. Subliminal messages. You know what I'm saying? Not on purpose, but by accident. But just let the people know it's coming. And you know, thank Uncle Freezy for that. The naming is genius. I would have never came up with that.
I didn't. What is it? Because I probably skipped over it.
The pod couple. You know what I'm saying?
Fascinating.
I would have never came up with that ever. But you know, as crazy as it is, in the simplicity, it's genius because it's factual. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being able to roast Kev for as long as we on set, and that's what he's gonna get a good. I'm gonna have to flip him over. You seen those movies? When we talk about when you look at the in Hawaii, how they put the pig in the pit, and they take that big apple and stick it in his mouth. I sent Kev a box of apples today, so get ready. Because it's coming. It is coming. What's the topic of conversation today? I joined in early and I saw you on when the first thing I heard you talk about was what would we consider to be acceptable as a result of the season, and you start talking about draft picks and whatnot, and then you went into the Julian Bloom says pause. Yeah, for real. My bad. But then you start talking about Westbrook. So I want to rewind for just a second and just kind of talk about expectations for the team moving forward based on what the performance of the team was this year, and kind of help people to temper their expectations just a little bit, because you have two different camps right now. I'm sure you got a camp that says the Knicks overachieved. We never saw this coming at all, and then you got a camp that says, okay, if we add two people, we can win the chip. So someplace in the middle, the rest of Knick fandom exists in that bubble, right? I want to kind of pull the fringes from the fringes to the bubble and get just a little bit of realism. Now, what we cannot predict is the future, because if we could, I'd be in Vegas, I'd be rich. I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys. I'd be on the French Riviera somewhere on a 100-foot yacht with a whole crew eating stuff that I can't even pronounce. You know what I'm saying? That's probably where I would be, but that's not my lot in life at this point. I'm just I'm like you, the blue collar guy out here on a 9 to 5 and getting it in. But actually, I'm up at it's 1:43 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. But I'm in an undisclosed location, out of my time zone, and my body like, what are you doing right now? Really, that's legit. What's going on right now in a hotel room? That, oh my God. Kev, I'm gonna talk to you about this hospitality industry later on offline. Because boy, look at here. And you told me to. You told me when I told you where I was going, you was like, you're gonna get what you're gonna get. And you're right. You're right, brother.
I'm a stickler for
oh my God.
I guess because I know what to expect.
You Kev, you would not believe. You would, if I told you, you wouldn't believe it. I'm telling you, brother. This right here, and the fact that the crap that goes on here, I have to think about. I am legit paying money for this experience, paying money, not just a whole lot of money. I'm paying for this. Come on, bro. But I'm not gonna get off track. But I just wanted to let you know you were right and I was wrong.
We'll chat.
Yes. Because I got a bunch of crickets and change. I got a bunch of more trips coming up here in the immediate future, so I need to change my housing accommodation, so to speak, to something that's not accessible, but that's at the standard that I'm kind of used to. You know what I'm saying? And don't give me, if I wanted Super 8, I'd have went to Super 8. Don't give me, don't sugarcoat it as, the Western or something like that, and then give me Super 8. That's when I get upset. I want what I pay for. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you on that. That's why I got this robe. I paid for this robe.
Look, you gonna make me take some towels out of here, and I don't even need them.
It depends. Towels are a very interesting thing, and actually, not too long ago, got somebody who gave me a rundown on the types of hotel towels.
Really?
And it was something that I didn't even know, and I was like, I just thought it was regular towels, but they're not. There's different tiers of towels.
Julian Blum said. Julian Blum says G-Man needs his recliner mobile. You're right. I'm missing my recliner. I'm just missing being in my environment. You know what I'm saying? I'm out of my element right now. I can still make it happen, but I'm out of my element. I ain't got my cup with my straw. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got my recliner to kind of sit back in and do my thing. But you know what? It's all good. It's all good, ladies and gentlemen. I got a couple more days to travel, and then it's back to business as usual.
I had pretty much begun the show. You're right. By having Knicks fans ask themselves this question.
Mm-hmm.
Doing what we did, regardless of how we did it, the fact that we were the number 4 seed in the Eastern Conference, and we have all the goodwill going and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Ask yourself, to a man or woman or child, whatever, would you be happy personally? And this isn't a collective. This is personally. Would you be happy if the Knicks didn't make the playoffs next year?
So I have two sides of my brain. I'm gonna give you like people say when you hear that saying, you got the devil on this shoulder and the angel on this shoulder. I'm gonna give you the angel answer first, because let's call people, if we had to put them in a salute quiet money, if we had to put them in a I guess a group, we'll call those what people will consider them to be rational fans, right? So the rational person would say, based on the performance that the New York Knicks had this year, they would expect for this team, our team, to build upon that and excel. In a perfect world, that's what would happen. You know what I'm saying? In a perfect world. Then you have I won't call them naysayers, but I would call them the antagonist to the angel on the shoulder. They would give you a whole bunch of reasons why we will regress and do something different moving forward. So again, you have to take those people, bring them together.
No. Sorry, this is you. This is Sergeant Knicks, aka G-Man for life.
My thoughts.
Would you be happy or not if the Knicks didn't make the play? This isn't about anyone else. This isn't about the collective. This is each person individually.
Okay.
Would you be happy? But how would you feel not? How would you feel if the Knicks didn't make the playoffs next year?
If it depends on how the season went, right? Or it depends on what perpetuated us not being able to make the playoffs. So again, if depending on what we do in this offseason as far as personnel moves and this, that, and the third, and how that team comes together, and then what the performance looks like, will give me what my base reaction will be based on the outcome of the season, right? So what I'm not going to base the season on, because the personnel grouping is going to be different. We should have, and I'm assuming we will have the same head coach. We got the same front office, but what's going on the court will be what's different. Now, if we can take what we did last year and build upon it, I'm great. If we take what we did last year and get the mixer, put it in the bowl, turn it on, and stir everything up, and it doesn't work as well, but we're still progressing, I'm okay with that as well, because that's progression. Winning does not always equate to progression. We like to win, right? So, but if last week I could only run a mile without losing a lung, then okay. But this week I can run 2 or 1.5 miles. That's progression for me. I'm okay with progression. Rome was not built. The old saying, Rome was not built in a day, right? So I'm not that egotistical person that says, oh, just because we we were a 4th seed this year, so next year we should get out of the second round, and then no, ladies and gentlemen, that's not how this works. In a fantasy world, maybe, if you open a book up for story time and you start that book with once upon a time, that's a fairy tale. I'm not in the fairy tale business. I'm a realist, right? And we have human beings involved in all these transactions that we're talking about. You got people, think about this for 2 seconds. Think about the last time you took a trip. And this is fresh for me because I'm on a trip right now. So think about how you feel when you're outside of your element. Think about when you are relocating. You had to uproot, especially if you got a wife and kids or a husband and kids. You got to uproot your whole family. You move to a whole different area. You got to find a school for your kids, right? You got to get used to the drive from your house to work, that commute time that you got. All this is different, and you don't fall into that right away, and everything is good. Your kids gonna be upset because they got to leave their friends, and you're taking them someplace else, and they swear up and down, I'm not gonna ever make any more friends. You got to deal with all that. That's the same event when a player changes teams, right? We just think that it's just what's on the basketball court. There's layers to this, and how people respond is going to be huge. So the short answer, and that was a long soliloquy to a question that I probably could have answered in 3 words or less, but I wanted to put some context to what I'm telling you is this: if we don't make it to the championship, okay, yeah,
No, not championship. I just said
I'm sorry,
playoffs.
playoffs. I'm okay with that as long as we are making progress. And everyone has to define in their own soul what progress for them really means. So I have in my head what progress for me would be, and then I know what the line is to where I see us regressing instead of progressing. So I'm okay if we don't make the championship, but we still progress. I'm good with that. I am. Book it. But look, somebody look, it's 45 minutes and 43 seconds into the show. If you need to go back and check this timestamp, because G-Man said that he's okay if we don't make the playoffs. Because in the moment, I may say something very different than what I'm talking about right now. Because it's the heat of the moment. But that, that's just being honest. But my again, the realistic side of my brain says I'm okay if things don't progress next year or this upcoming season as they did this past season. But as long as we're progressing, I'm good with that. Just keep moving forward. Keep pushing. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't know how you can progress and technically take steps backwards. Like I can't walk forward and go backwards at the same time.
So realistically, you are correct. That's a euphemism that you can't possibly move forward and then be moving back at the same time. What can happen concurrently is as you're moving forward, you have a force or you have situations or obstacles that forces your forward momentum not to be as, let's say, progressive as you would like because you have things pulling against you that you have to deal with. And you could have been, 5 blocks up the street versus being 2, right? So in that estimation, I think that, and we will find this. There will be some things that happen this off season or this business season with the Knicks that we will perceive to be positive things that in your mind this should perpetuate us or move us forward. And then at the same time, there's going to be something to happen and be like, what in the Sam hell were these people thinking? And that's going to set us back because you're taking away either scoring, you're taking away defense, you're taking away somebody that provided good minutes on the floor. So there's going to be that disparity. But until you put it all into that bowl, mix it up, stick it in the oven, and pull out that finished product, we're not going to know what it feels like. We don't know what it looks like, and we're not going to know how it performs. We can speculate on it.
This is where my mindset is. I've seen the Knicks, like I said, I've seen them play with my own 2 eyes in person.
In person, right? Gotcha.
Not through a TV.
Right.
I have seen them with my own 2 eyes, and I tell you, if you've ever seen a game, you know it's different.
It
you
is.
know that when you're watching it, it's different from when you're at home watching it on TV.
Yes. Facts.
But even if I was home watching it on TV, as every Knicks fan saw this season, this team has glaring flaws.
Right. I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
And so if us from the outside can see there's a hole here, there's flaws, then that means that Leon Rose sees it, that Scott Perry sees it, that William Worldwide West sees it, that Tom Thibodeau sees it. So you have the offseason to be like, okay, this is the holes that we had. This is our deficiencies that we had last year.
Right.
And even with these deficiencies, we got to this point.
Right.
Now, any person in business, any educated person will be like, if we fix these deficiencies,
we should be better.
We may not be at the top of the mountain,
Right.
but our arrow should continually point up.
Right.
It doesn't. People have to think like if we make a move, City.
Yo, what's good? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
We good? Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
All right. I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to be cool.
But people are under the mindset that if we make a Damian Lillard or Russell Westbrook or whoever move, we're going to win a championship, right? And it's like, no. That's not what this type of move would mean.
Right.
That kind of move helps you progress to get to that goal.
Right.
It'll put you in a better situation moving forward, because you have to be in a certain class, right, to really be considered a contender.
Yeah, you got to put yourself in that position to be able to contend for the championship, right?
Now, that does not mean, like I said, even if you made a Damian Lillard, that it's going to be a finished product, because it's not. But what you do is you continually move the needle forward, because if you have a Damian Lillard or a Russell Westbrook or a De'Aaron Fox or whoever, making the playoffs doesn't come as if we make the playoffs. It's, okay, this is an absolute that this will happen.
Right.
There's no more guessing. There's no more ifs or anything. This is an absolute that this, if we do this, that this will happen. The A and B will lead you to C. Now, how the rest follows is all a domino effect. But you got to put yourself in position to be, and to put yourself in an absolute certainty. And that's what the kind of, like, with draft picks, they're the unknown. You really don't know what you're going to get. Draft picks are like having a box of chocolates, as to reference Forrest Gump. You know, people are like, oh man, this is the coconut one. I don't want this one. This is disgusting. You get that hard, that dark chocolate one. What am I getting?
Yeah, you're right.
Or the one with a cherry in it. You don't know. You never know. You might think, ooh, look at this one. This one's good. And it might be the nastiest one in the box.
Right.
So that's what the lottery is. You might get a good one, right? We got a player of the year in college last year, and he played 10 minutes a game. Right. We got a guy who was the third, fourth option on Kentucky and ended up being okay. Not great. Emmanuel Quickly, and I had to break this to a lot of people. Emmanuel Quickly is not great.
Right.
He is a very good young player. He ain't great. Nowhere near it. Can he get there one day? Maybe, possibly. But that's an unknown. What's unknown is Russell Westbrook is great. Russell Westbrook is going to the Hall of Fame one day. That we know is going to happen. Russell Westbrook don't got to play another game of basketball in his life in the NBA, and Russell Westbrook is a first ballot Hall of Famer. So
I think there's no question about what Westbrook has done in his career, right? Where I guess where our paths kind of divide would be what would the impact of not just Westbrook, right? When we talk about bringing people into this franchise on this team, my concern is always what kind of fit is that going to be, and how does that affect our core? Because believe it or not, people would argue the fact that we don't even have a core. We just got a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of journeymen here that just collectively get together on whatever night and strap up their shoelaces and play ball, right? They will say that, and they will be serious when they say that. And you know, I understand that sentiment, but my position on not just a Westbrook, but any free agent that we bring in here, more so, I understand what that person did in their last job, but that does not equate in any way that performance is reciprocated on this end if they're playing for the Knicks. It could either go up, it could go down, or it can stand pat and stay at the same level. We hope that it stays at the same level. That's what we're hoping for. And then at that point, we build upon that, and it contributes to the benefit of the entire team. We don't want to see it regress. How many times have you seen a team go out and get a free agent, whether they had to trade for him, whether the free agent said, "Okay, I'm gonna come play for your team," and he became a bust. He didn't fit the system that the head coach had in play. I mean, and then case in point, well, this wasn't a free agent. It's a draft pick. What are people talking about when they talk about Ben Simmons right now? And the crazy part about this is, Ben Simmons has been the exact same basketball player he was when he was drafted. He has not changed one iota. That's who he has been. So when these coaches and these front offices get in their rooms and they say, "Hey, you know, City asking for this, City asking for that, he wants this and that." So what we're not paying City for right now, when we talk about contracts, we're not paying City for the performance that he has given us. We're paying for potential production, right? Based on past performance. That's what we're paying for. So that's a gamble, because you never know what's happening tomorrow. People get injured, situations, circumstances change. There are a whole bunch of things that are going on in the cosmos that are not predictable. And we like to think that we can predict a whole bunch of things. The human mind likes us to think that we're in control of a lot of things that we're not.
No, and you can't. You can't predict that. But what we can go on is if someone has a large body of work, right?
Yep.
And I use the Russell Westbrook because just as a reference, right? We can look back at Russell Westbrook's body of work and say, you know what? I'm pretty sure you can drop Russell Westbrook in any situation,
and he'd be successful.
And he's going to be Russell Westbrook. You know he's going to give you 20 points, 10 assists, a bunch of rebounds every night. You know he's going to be that dog of a person. That's one thing I don't get. Like, everyone, like I said earlier, everyone's like, "Oh, we need a dog." And then Russell Westbrook is probably one of the biggest dogs in the NBA.
All right. Hold on. What does that allude to?
What do you mean?
What does that allude to?
What exactly? What did we want that people want a dog?
What you just said. What does that allude to?
What do you mean, like the dog reference?
Yeah. What does that allude to?
Oh, I don't care. I don't. That's what everyone else cares about. I don't care if you're a dog or a puppy. It don't matter to me. Can you get me some buckets? That's what matters to me. To me, that's what matters. But everyone else, he ain't got that dog in him. Like I don't even know what that means most of the time.
So
all I know is I think he can go out there and give me some points.
Does it matter? Does it matter? Because really, in all honesty, I'm gonna be real. Like, at the end of the day, the points that he gets, the points that he's been getting, haven't really amounted to anything. Are we clamoring for him to be on our team? Is that what we're doing right now? I'm just asking a question.
Now I have a question. Hold on. When you say the points he's gotten doesn't amount to what exactly? Because Russell Westbrook's resume kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah, okay. He's a triple-double machine, but at the end of the day, let's be real. What has that amounted to?
MVP award.
No chips.
A multi-time
No
All-Star.
chips. No chips.
No chips. Some people will say that J.R. Smith
even playing with some of the greatest players in the world.
Oh,
No
so
chips.
you are guaranteed to
No
win
chips.
championships.
I'm just saying.
My favorite player of all time has no championships at all.
I think Russ wins a ring if KD doesn't suck Game 5 and Game 6 against the Warriors.
Does that mean that he's less great because he doesn't have any chips?
Oh my God, bro!
The second all-time leading
what?
scorer in NBA history has no chips. The NBA's all-time leader in assists and steals has no chips. One of the greatest shooters of all time, no chips.
So what does that mean?
The TNT analyst, one of the greatest power forwards of all time.
What does that mean? Let me ask you a question.
It means that they're all great. Because they didn't win a championship.
Person? Let me ask you a question. Are you a stat person? Are you a great person? Are you a person that want to relevate things to championships?
I believe it's a little bit of both. I believe, like I said,
no, just pick one or the other.
I don't think it is, because that's like saying you're not an all-time great if you don't win. Like, is Charles Barkley an all-time great player?
No, you can be an all-time great. That's got nothing to do with it.
But you're making the argument. You're saying you have to win a championship to be great. Like, if you don't win a championship, everything that you do does not mean anything. Because if you're saying Russell Westbrook has scored, but he doesn't have any chips, you're relegating to his greatness the fact that he hasn't won a championship, but he can do everything else on the court, but he hasn't won a championship, is all an indictment on Russell Westbrook himself.
That's not what I said, but
that's what you're alluding to. Because what is the point of saying?
Listen,
what is the point of? Hold on, but what was the point? What was the point of saying that Russell Westbrook has no championships?
Kev, can I tell you something? Alluding to and saying something is two different things.
Bro. Well, I'm asking you point.
Alluding to and saying something is two totally different things. So you can allude to something, but that doesn't actually mean that that's what you're saying.
I'm going to ask you
what you're saying.
I'm going to ask you point blank. Does Russell Westbrook not having any championships delude anything else that he does on the basketball court?
For me, anybody that does all of this greatness and they don't win nothing, for me, it dilutes things. Because if you're that great, you should be able to win something besides personal accolades or whatever you want to call it. Whatever, however you want to chop it up. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, yes. For me personally, and people might not like that, but for me personally, yes, it's true. It's true. You can lead the league in steals, rebounds, assists, points in the league, and get that whole thing 1 year. And guess what? If you go out without winning a chip, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, okay, your accolades were good. Yes, they were cool, but guess what? You didn't win anything. The whole point of playing the game is to win the chip. At the end of the day, that's what we really talking about.
Yes, so it is.
At the same time, yes, you can be great. Yes, you can be good. Yes, you can have the stat master, stat plaster. And if somebody want to send a super chatter platter, send it, because what I'm saying is legit. Like,
I mean, it's legit to you.
That's real.
That's the thing. It's legit to you.
Real. That's just
how
real.
Is it real? Because
just me.
It is you, because that's your belief. That doesn't mean that because it's your belief that it has to be 100% true.
Hold on.
No, it doesn't, because that means, like I said.
Let me use your words. Hold on. Time out.
I mean,
time out. You mean to tell me that if you can stat pad your stats every game and win any accolade that you can win and not win a championship, it's supposed to be all golden? we supposed to put the rainbow.
He don't stat pad though.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
that's not what I'm saying at all. It doesn't have to be about. Okay, and I'll give you an example. Just because you are great doesn't mean that there's somebody that's not greater than you. Like I said, my favorite player is Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing played in the era with somebody that was greater than he was.
He did.
Does that
Correct.
mean that what he went on the court for is blood, sweat, tears, broken bones, everything else is diluted because he played in an era where somebody was greater than him?
You talking about the last one?
I'm talking about Michael Jordan.
He's talking about you.
Michael Jordan? You talking about Michael Jordan? I'm talking about his. I was talking about his position.
No, I was talking about Michael Jordan.
I was talking about. I was just talking about this. I was talking about his position.
No, I was talking about the era of Jordan. So my thing is this: Patrick Ewing played in the era dominated by Michael Jordan. Because he did not match the great, and no one could have matched the greatness of Michael Jordan, means that his career is nothing. Because mind you, Patrick Ewing came in the league when it was dominated by Larry Bird.
How can you use that as an argument when Michael Jordan won chips, and we talking about a guy that didn't win chips?
You're saying the whole thing. Michael Jordan is arguably the greatest player of all time. Michael Jordan kept a lot of people from winning chips. That does not mean that they were not great in their own right. Great, and I'm not throwing that word around lightly. Great in their own right. And because they played and some would argue if he didn't retire, Hakeem Olajuwon wouldn't have no rings. And so to sit here and say because and Russell Westbrook just happens to have played in the era with arguably maybe the second greatest player of all time. And so to sit here and to say he doesn't have any championships because he played in the era with LeBron James and Steph Curry, that his former teammate had to run away and go play with him, that's not an indictment on Russell Westbrook. That's not an indictment on anyone who is considered to be an all-time great who's never won a championship, because your greatness just doesn't match the greatness of these people who are just monumentally great. That does not take that away from what this man has done on a basketball court. And for you to sit here and just about to say, "Oh, he ain't won no chips," that's just speaking something without any context whatsoever.
No, really, bro. What he's done, right? He's been a triple-double machine. I will give him credit. I will give him props for that. I will give him credit. I will give him props for that. But what has that done for his teams? You tell me, what has that done for his teams?
He carried
all
his
of the triple doubles that he's averaged and everything that he's done, what has it done for his teams?
I mean, he's continually in the playoffs every single year.
Okay,
without a shadow of a doubt.
You can be continuously in the playoffs, but what has that done?
Do you know how hard that is?
No, hold on. It doesn't matter. Can I finish?
He's in the playoffs in the Western Conference.
Can I finish?
Western Conference.
Okay, you making it for me.
No,
you can be in the playoffs in the Western Conference. You could be in the playoffs if there was a such thing as a Central American Conference. It doesn't matter what conference you in, bro. It does not matter. You can do all of that, but guess what? The end of the day, what is your end game? Your end game is to get the what? The trophy. And if you don't get it, you don't get it at the end of the day. So it doesn't matter. Everything that you do, I'm not saying that is discredited or whatever.
You are saying it's discredited. No. You are literally saying it's discredited. You're saying if you do not win a championship, it doesn't matter what you do.
Am I the only person? Am I the only person that's sitting here saying that, you know what, you can be great. You can be great, and people will applaud you for that. But at the end of the day, your end game was to do what?
Is Luke Longley a better player than Patrick Ewing?
I'm not talking about.
I'm asking. No. Luke Longley. Luke Longley is a 3-time NBA champion. Is Luke Longley better than Patrick Ewing?
Is Luke Longley?
Because Luke Longley.
That's the most ridiculous.
Are you really gonna ask me that question?
Yeah, I am.
Are you really gonna ask me that question? Because you not even understand.
I don't understand that because you don't win a championship
that's okay.
means. So let me get this straight.
Okay.
All you gotta do is win one championship and you just great. That's it.
Who said that? You said that.
I never said that.
You were just
are. That's what you're implying.
Listen, again, I tried to tell you earlier when you try to say implying and saying something is totally different things. That's just like saying if you assume, then you make
you basically have come out of your mouth and said.
I did not say that.
Regardless of what
you guys keep saying,
if you don't win the championship, I'm diluting what you do. We can rewind the tape.
I did not say that. Yes,
you did.
You just said that.
Said if
look,
rewind
it. I'm gonna do your clap.
You said
rewind
it
because what I said.
No,
I said. Come out.
Come out.
That's what you said. You said.
I said you can be great. And be great.
Go back to your corners. Go back to your corners. Go see your cut man. And get all the sweat off your face and put the Vaseline over the cut over your eye. So first of all, you got some super chats I had that we need to like. Let's get to the business at hand first, right? And then we can get back to the discussion. I'm not gonna call it an argument. We can get back to the discussion. But go ahead and acknowledge those super chats for me, please.
So Kaiser So said, thank you for the 2 super chats. The first one is $4.99 super chat. He says, exactly, City. We don't care about his awards. We only care about players that affect playoff success. And his second one is Russell Westbrook doesn't have a ring because he couldn't mesh with his teammates. Every other great player ran from being on his team. That's an indictment.
Wow.
I don't agree with that at all.
Kaiser Sose's point, he's really only had one teammate that left, and people call him all kinds of names because he went to a team that just won 72 games the season before.
And if you ask like all of Russell Westbrook's teammates, they say that he's one of the best teammates they've ever had.
Literally, all of Russell Westbrook's teammates love him. He's literally up for Man of the Year.
Right, but still hasn't done nothing. So what?
No, because in 2017, after Katie left, he averaged a 30-point triple-double, with his second leading scorer was Victor Oladipo, averaging 14 a game. And then he took them to the 5th seed in the West, in the stacked Western Conference that year. That's a lot.
Right, and somebody that averaged less, won the chip.
Wait a minute, Ethan. Ethan, are you legit using the worst case scenario to justify that Russell Westbrook is a great player?
In my opinion, he is.
I'm asking. I don't question the fact that Russell Westbrook is a great player, right? What I do question is all the 52,000 excuses people make for Russell Westbrook. My man legit played with Kevin Durant and James Harden, Serge Ibaka, all on one team, and he didn't win a chip. He played with James Harden and didn't win a chip, right? Now he's with Bradley Beal, and they can barely make the playoffs. And then what we say in every circumstance is that, it was the other stuff surrounding Westbrook that determined the outcome. It wasn't Westbrook couldn't mesh with Paul George. It was Paul George's fault. Paul George didn't show up.
To be fair, he did suck.
That's my point. That's
no. It's like it's actually.
Wait.
So we're justifying
Westbrook dropped 45 in a game 5 against Donovan Mitchell, and Paul George put up 8 points.
I know. We talk about that once a week. I know. I get it. I know the particulars. I know the details of that. I remember it happening, but what I'm saying is you can't keep saying that Westbrook is not part of the reason why Westbrook doesn't have championships. When at every point in his career, he had the resources available to do something and did nothing. Now, people are pointing to that 1 year. Oh, Westbrook 1 year he dragged the team to the championship and blah blah blah. Yeah, I get it. But Julius Randle did that this year, and y'all don't give Julius Randle the same love, right? What I'm getting at is we understand that Russell Westbrook is a great player, was a great player, but man, maybe
he still is.
Right. In people's opinion, right?
I think the stats still
right. You just said I think.
No, I'm saying
that means that's your opinion.
No, the stats back that up. He's still a
no. You just said though. I think the stats back that up.
I was saying that in a sarcastic way. What I'm saying is, I know for a fact the stats back it up that Russell Westbrook is still a great player.
Hey, what did Trae Young do? Did anybody see what Trae Young did recently?
He went crazy. He went crazy in the playoffs on every single team. He dominated. He proved that he could take it to the next level. At this stage of his career.
Who would y'all rather have, Trae Young or Russell Westbrook?
Trae Young right now.
Just
right now, Trae Young is showing how he could. He's picking on teams right now at his size and with his athletic ability. Trae Young is picking on teams right now, and he has the most healthiest squad right now. That's playing in his favor. But I think Russell Westbrook and Kev's defense, I think, Russell Westbrook is showing that he could figure out how to get his stat line in shape. Russell Westbrook has figured out how to get his stats in this league. That's what makes him Russell. That's what makes him make him a Hall of Fame.
We talking about Trae Young, right? And I would honestly say this, right? And I've seen Trae Young miss plenty of 30-footers. But at the end of the day, if you got Trae Young or Russell Westbrook on your team, who do you trust to shoot that 30-footer from the outside?
Trae Young.
Exactly.
Why do you have to shoot a 30-footer?
You don't have to shoot it, but what I'm saying is our whole thing has been talking about a point guard that can shoot from the outside, right?
No,
right?
Right? No,
we're not talking. Okay.
We just said Ethan just brought up a scenario.
I'm not gonna say nothing else.
And where Russell Westbrook scored 45 points in the playoff game, and I guarantee you he didn't shoot one time from 30 feet away from the basket, and he still got you 3 less points than a guy who's shooting 30 feet away. Think about it. Russell Westbrook got 45 points and didn't shoot one time from 30 feet away from the basket.
Yep.
G-Man
for life. That wasn't even my question.
Hey, G-Man for life is in the building.
G-Man, can you answer that question for me?
G-Man. Hey, hold on. Let me do a reset real quick. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hey, G-Man for life is in the building. Co-host of the Pod Couple podcast, premiering on the Blorange Tears network. What's good, G-Man?
Hey, look, it's great to be seen, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here in foreign lands.
In foreign lands, yeah. I miss you. I miss you and City. I had a good talk with City last night, man. Yo, City is a real dude. City told me some stuff last night I didn't really expect, but it had something to do with skunk backfiring and Hoodie Kev walking around in his kitchen in the dark without the phone. And thank you.
Y'all on fire tonight, boy. Y'all on fire tonight.
Hoodie Kev said the story was so good. I walked out of the room without the phone. And I was like, well, Kev, how are you just gonna mess up my man's story like that? So based on our conversation last night, I knew I knew as soon as I jumped in, it was going to be Russell Westbrook. I knew the topic was going to be Russell Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? People won't let former All-Stars fade away into glory. They want to think a guy that did stuff when he was 25 going to do the same thing when he's 35.
Right.
And that ain't the case, because Father Time is undefeated. Right.
Undefeated. You're exactly right. 100%
Yo,
exactly right.
Yo, you know what? Since we here right now, yo, G-Man, since we doing this reset, yo, let's go, man. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Shout out to everybody that's going to watch. Y'all know what to do, man. Y'all want that roll call? Y'all want that good? Y'all want that good?
Hoodie Kev, you better not go nowhere either. Hoodie Kev, you better not go nowhere.
Let's see it in the chat, man. Y'all want that roll call? Let's
Hoodie
go.
Kev gonna be like, I got a lasagna in the oven. You ain't got no damn lasagna in the oven.
Where my chat family at, man? Put that orange and blue. Put that orange and blue down there. Where my chat family?
Every time we do the roll call, Hoodie Kev be like, man, I got a lasagna in the oven. Yo ass can't even make manwich, and you talking about you got a lasagna in the oven.
Let's go.
Mr. Rocket,
Let's go. Yo,
Mr. Rocket,
put that
I got
orange and blue in the chat, man.
I got a cat. I named him Garfield.
I bet you do. I bet you do. Garfield love lasagna, bro.
Yeah, I got to keep him fed.
Yeah. It's funny. Garfield always get hungry when we do the roll call.
Yo, let's go. That's what my chat family love it. That's what I'm talking about.
He better throw some orange and blue in the chat. I know that. He better throw some orange and blue in the chat.
Let's see it. I see you, John Weber. I got the goggles on. I see you, Kaiser Soze, the usual suspect. I see you, bro. Let's go, David Parker, parking it in.
Let's good.
Go. Let's get it going. Who we got? Juju 92. I see you. Let's go. Juju 92. Our future. My God. The future of gaming gonna take it to the next level. Let's
Jersey City representative.
And Sam 40. Let's go. Quiet.
Quiet guap. Quiet guap in the building.
Let's go, Wilson. Dang. My God, y'all haven't seen Wilson Dang in forever. What's going on? Frederick is in the building, usually on the morning drive, but Frederick is here with us.
Can somebody shout out Uncle Freezy? Somebody send a special shout out to Uncle Freezy.
Hey, wait, hold on. Yo, Uncle Freezy. How you doing tonight?
Yo,
all right?
Yo, hey, first time caller, long time listener. I just jumped on because I wanted to hear Hoodie Kev say my name. It's my lifelong dream. I see he showed up with the heavy D robe. As soon as I saw him, all I was thinking was Mr. Big Stuff. Oh yeah. Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff?
Listen. How you doing tonight? What's up, party people?
Since you brought that up, I'm gonna need for you to give me one time the bone diddly D.
Yeah.
Sitting in my room with my smoke jacket on. That's what I think about when I see Cat. Sitting in the room with my smoke jacket on, the fireplace going, and the girlies. Whoa.
That right there, that's practice. I'm gonna rewind that for about 8 hours a day.
Brother BKL, we see you, bro. Salute to you, man. We see you.
Goodness,
brother BKL, we see you. Oh, look at that. Lots of love. That don't stand for losing. Lots of love, bro. Salute to you. You already know what it is. You know how we get down.
Yeah, man.
Huh? It's your Blorange Tears family. We here. We repping. We chilling, right? We got Hoodie Kev. We got Mr. Rocket.
We got Ethan in the building representing for Russell Westbrook.
Freezy. Yeah, easy Ethan, laying it down, chiming in every now and then. That's what we do.
Yeah, man.
Yo, let's go. Man, I'm back on my business, man. I'm feeling good. I hope you guys are feeling good. Thank you guys for rocking with us, man.
And I was listening to Ethan. Ethan was like, yo, I don't usually agree with Hoodie Cav, but yo, this Russell Westbrook thing, y'all getting kind of close to home. Ethan was coming in there, but Ethan was like, yo, y'all ain't gonna do my man Westbrook like that, bro.
Yeah.
I was just saying, like, I'm not really in for him now, but you can't disrespect the man's legacy like that.
Yeah.
Even to this day, like, point guards like him usually don't last that long, and he still lasted this long, even after all those knee surgeries. Because people forget he had the same knee surgery that D Rose had, and he managed to last through it.
Right.
And he's still one of the hardest workers on the court, so I don't take that for granted.
So this is what I like to do, right? I like to bring the conversation back to center. So if you were on early on when Kev first opened the show up, he asked
having a meltdown.
Yeah, with that too.
When did I have a meltdown?
When we start talking about Westbrook, we went off the rails. So what I'm gonna do, what I want to do is get back to the relevant conversation, because you had a very relevant point when we started talking about the future of the Knicks, right? So when we start talking about, remember when I talked about
Ben Simmons?
That too. So what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to equate this conversation to players, because when we start talking about players, people get in their emotions and their feelings, and then we go off the rails for real. We have spent probably about 45 minutes talking about the career of Russell Westbrook. No, we're not going to do that. That's not what we're going to do, because the conversation we should be having is what is happening with the future of the New York Knicks. That's the conversation we should be having right now, right? Not about a player and his career, but if this player comes to this team, what contributions will that garner? That's the conversation we should be having, right? There is no disputing when people talk about the statistical career of an NBA player. So what we forget, or what we tend to shy away from, is what situation was that player in? Who were the people that were surrounding that player on the team? Right. Based upon that, was that player forced to take more shots? Was that player forced to pass the ball more because he was trying to feed a perennial all-star in the paint? Or was he trying to feed the number 2 shooting guard? All these things are important, but we don't discuss that. We focus on the individual and the individual stats. That's why I hate stats. Stats don't tell you the story. Stats are just that. They're stats. The eye test is what you trust. Watch the game. Watch how the game progresses, and watch what the individual involved in the game's contributions were to the outcome of the game. That's what you should watch. And then we can have a discussion about that. Not the box score. Anybody can go on YouTube or whatever platform that you're on and get the box score and think you can have an intelligent conversation. But I promise you, if I watch the game and you didn't, you're going to lose, because you're not going to understand the content of why somebody got a triple-double. You're not going to understand the content of why somebody took 40 shots and only made 5 of them. You know what I'm saying? Who's the person defending them? Let's talk about that person, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not going to get on my diatribe right now. I want to get back to center, like I said before. So what we're talking about right now is this. A Russell Westbrook, DeAndre Fox, who else have we talked about? A Chris Paul.
De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox, Chris Paul,
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Lonzo Ball. What's my man name that Freezy said he just don't like this dude.
Spencer Dinwiddie. Jason
Dinwiddie.
If I ever get caught in the same room with Spencer Dinwiddie, somebody gonna get dirty.
Look, Freezy was very clear. He does not like Dinwiddie. Yes. For real. So for Dinwiddie people, hey. but all that being said, right? At the end of the day, we have to put this thing in stages, and we have to address it in stages. So the first stage of this journey that we're about to go on, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think that's going to be? Put it in the chat. What do you think the first step on this journey is going to be? Let me see it in the chat.
I'm gonna tell you, Hoodie Cav gonna go to the upper room. Hoodie Cav is gonna go to, and this is why, because the night that we see Russell Westbrook for the Knicks grab a rebound and push it up the floor fast as he can and kick out to the corner to a wide open man in the corner for three. And he put that three up and it splashed. And we look at that guy in the corner to see who it is. And it's Kevin Knox. Oh, but Hoodie Kev is going to be like, I ain't got nothing else to be here for. I ain't got nothing else to be here for. What am I doing here? You can come take me right now. Yeah. Russell Westbrook got a rebound for his triple-double. And he got 25, 12, and 12. He pushed the floor. He pushed the pace. We got a 9-point lead. He kicked it out to a dude in the corner for number 20, who got 29 points. And he splashed down a three for 32 points. And he done become one of the leaders of the team. Hoodie Cavs gonna be like, you can come take me right now. This has been my dream. And then after the game when they do the post-game press conference and they have the three youngsters up there, and Kevin Knox is leading the youngsters up to the podium. Kevin Knox, Hoodie Kev is gonna be like, hey, you can come take me to I done seen the glory. Hoodie Kev is gonna be like, oh Lord. That's what I'm saying. That's what Hoodie Kev.
I'm about to die right now. Hold up. I need another drink.
Hoodie Kev gonna be like, this dream, RJ Barrett and Kevin Knox leading the youngsters. You know, that's his thing.
Okay, his thing. So Uncle Freezy has gone into the land of Oz, right? And what he's talking about. But my man Julian Tran in the chat keyed on the first step in this journey that we're about to go on, leading into the next season, which is the draft, right? So I need for people to wrap their minds around what do you think at this point, or who do you think at this point that's a realistic draft pick that could benefit this team? Now, mind you, that it's still the business season, right? And just because that person that you see walk across the stage and grab that Knicks hat, right, and put it on his head like this right here, that don't mean that person's gonna be on this team.
Right.
That just means that the New York Knicks drafted him at that position. He could be someplace else within 30 seconds of him putting the hat on his head. We've seen this happen, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen this happen. So at this point, at this stage in the game, I just want us to temper, right? That word means a lot, right? And people kind of throw it around very loosely. But listen to me. I'm gonna go into my best effort in my quiet storm voice, right? Here we go, right here. One time. I ain't got the bottle of Kvasse over here. I ain't got candles burning or none of that. But here we go. Quiet storm voice. New York Knicks fans, I need for you to temper your expectations, right? I need for you to be realistic in understanding who's available for the draft, who's not. Understand the moves that have been made in the front office to get the person or personnel that we need to make this a better team at the end of the day. So before we go out there and get our pitchforks out, y'all country people know what pitchforks are. City folks like, what is a pitchfork right now? They don't know what a pitchfork is, but I'm not going to digress from a conversation right now. But here we go.
G-Man, what do you want? What do you want?
What I want is I want a young point guard out of this draft. That's what I want. If I can get a young point guard out of this draft that shows potential, because again, you can never gauge what a person's output is going to be until they do it. We can only act on potential. So, Freezy, to your point, what I want out of this draft, if I don't get nothing else, I want a young point guard. That's
what type of point? Do you want a tall point guard or a short point guard?
I want a big point guard. My point guard needs to be at least at a minimum 6'7", 6'8". I need a big point guard
So,
because when you
but
talk about small point guards are an anomaly in the league, right? You got folks out there that can move the ball. They can do a lot of different things. They are uh, outstanding passers and things of that nature. But that is not the norm. What I
Does he have to
want,
be fast? Does he have to be fast?
he has to be fast. He has to be precise, and he has to be able to shoot. Those three things right there.
That's
Is
only
what I'm
one
I
looking
point
hope
for.
you're
guard in
not.
this draft.
I hope you're not alluding to what I think you're alluding to, Freezy.
So,
But at the end of the day,
like I
too,
said before, I
it's
am not going to attach a name with characteristics of the players that I'm looking for. Now, I'm gonna leave that to y'all to figure out who I'm
thank you.
talking about.
Yeah,
That's
because
why I said what I said. But that also at the same time too, at our position and where we stand at and what we've been doing, we gotta ask ourselves: are we really in the market for a young point guard? Or are we gonna step it up and do the? And I hate to say this, man, because it breaks my heart to say it, but are we gonna do the same typical Knicks thing and go for a bunch of savvy veterans and
Alfred Payton.
not focus on the young core
Word.
or building and what we
So
need to do.
it's amazing that you say that, City,
Just
and I
because
have
of
an
our
answer to your
position.
question. I have an answer to your question. So how I see this progression is this, and this is why I say I want a young point guard. So the second part of that answer that I did not divulge was this. I also need a savvy veteran at the point guard position to be able to coach and teach this young point guard that's sitting behind me, right? So if you get again, I said I wasn't gonna say names. I'm not gonna say names. I'm gonna stick to what I said. So if you
Don't do
get
it, bro. Don't do it.
a savvy veteran to come in here at the point guard position, and he starts for the Knicks, right? So you got a couple different options. We still got Luka. We don't know what Luka's gonna be right now, but you got this veteran that you just drafted. Same kind of season ending or not.
Luka's a veteran though.
But he is, but we don't know what position he's going to play or where he is in the rotation, depending on what free agent they bring in or don't bring in. So Luka could essentially be the person that's teaching this young guy behind him of what to do or what not to do. We don't know what that looks like at this point. So I would say that what I don't want to see is I don't want to see discord. So whoever we bring in has to fit the mold of what we have going on right now with the Knicks. That's where we are at this present time. Whether young guy, I need the young vet, I need the young rookie that we bring in via the draft. I have an idea who I want that to be, and then I have the savvy vet, be it someone that's currently on the team
I got
or
your
someone
situation.
that we may bring in.
I got you, G-Man. I got you. You talking about Josh Giddey and Michael Carter Williams.
I'm
That's
not
what
gonna
you want.
put names to my positions, Freaky.
That's
You're not gonna
true.
move me
That's
off
what you
that.
want.
I'm not gonna name
We
names.
better not get Josh Giddey.
I'm not gonna name names.
Ethan, you don't think we'll be able to get Josh Giddey?
I don't
Josh
want
Giddey's
Josh
right.
Giddey.
He's
I'm
right
sorry.
there though. He's
I don't
right
want
there.
Josh Giddey.
You want him though.
I don't want Josh Giddey.
Oh, you don't want Josh Giddey? Okay, I mean,
He's overrated in my opinion.
okay.
His
Hey,
agent
listen.
like set up a bunch of like interviews all around Europe, and he's like going around, so his draft stock's going way up. And if you watch his tape, it's nothing special. He's a
It looks
6'8"
right.
point guard who's not that fast and is not that great athletically. So the Ben Simmons comparisons are like not even close because Ben Simmons is a freak athlete and he's not.
They said that.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you guys what's amazing to me, right? And we are all individuals that have our own aspect on what we see and how we interpret what we see, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna paint a picture for you real quick, real quick. This is gonna be my best Rembrandt impersonation, where I just throw paint on the canvas and move it around and see what happens. Right. So here we go. For those of you that are too young to understand what I'm about to say, it's okay. Anyone that was born in 1970 or before will understand what I'm saying. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, when he played for the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill, guess what he was relegated to do? Michael Jordan was not Michael Jordan in college. Dean Smith had Michael Jordan in handcuffs. He was shackled to the chair. Michael, when I put you in the game, this is what I need for you to do, and that's all. So when you say revisionist history, right? Revisionist history says that Michael Jordan, based on what we see him doing now and what his career has been, he should have been the #1 prospect coming out of college. Nope, not happened. That didn't happen. Never happened. No.
Right.
So when we talk about these young college players, and I like to bring things back to center. So when we talk about these college players, you don't understand the situation in which they exist. That's #1, right? You don't understand the restrictions that's been placed upon these players to say, I can show my talents or whatever the case may be, or I can't. That's why these guys have pro days, right? Because on the court, during the course of the game, the coach has to be relegated to this particular role. So I can't show what my true potential is. So I got to have my own pro day to come out here and do my thing, or I got to go to a Columbine or whatever the case may be. So what I don't want us to do, Jordan, toughest defender in college was Dean Smith's. Okay, look, understand this, David Parker. I agree with everything you just said. I am a true blue Tar Heel fan.
Oh no!
I am.
You know Hoodie Cav got a basketball scholarship to NC State.
No,
he NC State alone.
Okay, Freezy, let me be clear. All right, I want to make sure I'm clear.
Hoodie Cav scored 74 points against Steph Curry.
Listen, there is a wolf. There was a North Carolina.
Not do that at all.
There is a North Carolina wolf pack that you're talking about. What I'm talking about are those Rams, right? I'm talking about the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. That blue. That's what I'm talking about.
You do know that we allow y'all to play in our conference, right?
You know what? You don't allow anything because when we start talking about, so here we go.
We say, y'all can come play with us.
I am not going to allow you to derail me from my conversation, Kev. So when
if I'm not mistaken, who do they call the granddaddy of the ACC? That's NC State, the founders of the Atlantic Social Conference.
So just because
we said UNC,
at some point in life, I discovered electricity after Benjamin Franklin. Well, Benjamin Franklin discovered it, but I figured out how to use it. Does that make me better than Benjamin Franklin? No, it doesn't. There's some comparisons there, but I'm gonna tell you right now, when people talk about North Carolina basketball, who do they talk about? I'm gonna tell you who they talk about. And people about to throw me out of this hotel because I'm yelling up in here, and it's about 3:00 in the morning, and I'm sure security gonna come to my door in about 2 seconds. But what I'm telling you is this: when you talk about North Carolina basketball, there are 2 teams that's mentioned on a regular. And I'm going to tell you the first team is my wife's team, and that's the Duke Blue Devils. She loves herself some Duke Blue Devils. She loves Duke Blue Devils. And then the other team that should be mentioned and always mentioned first and foremost is the University of North Carolina.
At Charlotte?
Chapel Hill, baby.
Wilmington?
The Tar Heels. Stop playing with me, Kev.
Kev, North Carolina, raise up, take your pants off, and twist them.
Literally, no one's taking that pants off.
Baby.
Like, literally, nobody is taking it at all.
Hey, City, that's how it go, right? That's how the song go, right?
That's not how it goes at all.
That's how it go, right?
Nobody's taking their pants off at all.
Take your pants off and spin around your head.
Yeah.
Raise them to the roof.
I think that's the wrong article of clothing. But NC State has a long and rich history and tradition. Literally, our coach has his own week on ESPN. He has one of the most known foundations.
Guys, we don't want to hear that. Did you or did you not score 47 points against Michael Jordan from high school? Did you or not score 47 points in the game against Michael Jordan's former high school?
No.
Did you score 47 points?
I scored 47 points.
Okay,
it was against a school called Wallace Rose Hills.
Oh, jeez.
It was not against E.A. Laney.
But you played against E.A. Laney.
Yes, I played against E.A. Laney 7 times.
Did you not score 74 points against Independence High School from Charlotte, North Carolina? And
no.
was there not a young pimple-faced kid on the sideline that was about 5'7", a pimple-faced kid, the kid of a former NBA All-Star, and his 9-year-old brother was there too. His 9-year-old brother Seth was in attendance, and they watched you score 74 points, and they said one day I want to be like Hoodie Kev. Now, if these details of getting kind of all over the place, let me know. Clarify. We want you to clarify.
Oh my goodness!
Did Algie Crumpler not rebound for you in that game?
Never high school. Let's throw the diamonds up.
So that's the high school you went to.
Of course, the New Hanover Orange and Black, baby.
Okay, when have you ever seen an orange and black diamond?
At New Hanover High School.
Okay, all right.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. NHHS.
Hey, Mr. Rocket, this story is getting stranger as we go along because he told me he scored 74 points and Steph Curry was a ball boy for the team.
Literally did not say such a thing at all.
Yes, you did.
I've never, ever said that.
Control. So, but before I allow y'all to go way off the rails, Kev, my question to you is this. Out of the prospects that we have in the draft coming to the Knicks, who do you think, or who would you like to see, based on the moves that we could make, or anything like that? Who would you like to see the Knicks pick up in the draft?
I'm going to keep it short and simple. Nobody.
Come on, man. That's not even a question.
We traded no.
Huh?
I think we're trading up too.
I do not
because
believe...
if you see who we interviewed today, they were all top 10 prospects, but like mid-team prospects.
Yep.
Don't want any of them. Want to get superstar.
Well, I'm just saying what's about to happen.
Because you know what I want? This is what I want. I want the New York Knicks to have a home playoff game.
Tony Snell, you want to run it back with Tony Snell. Add Tony Snell and Russell Westbrook. That's what Justin L said.
Justin L is on point. But I want a Christmas Day game.
You want Tony Snell. Okay. All right, I'm out of here.
I want the Knicks to play on Christmas, and James Bouknight is not going to get us a Christmas Day game.
Oh, my God. So okay.
I mean, we have sucked, and we've still been on Christmas Day games.
That's not going to happen anymore. That's not going to happen.
We sucked, and Ace Cancer was our best player, and we still had Christmas Day games.
Be good to play on Christmas because the NBA is like, we can't even put the Knicks on Christmas anymore.
So if we run it back,
we ain't been on Christmas the last 2 years.
That's what that's what I'm saying.
Because they're like, nah, we can't even put them on no more.
Day game.
I actually remember that game.
We'll be relevant.
31 and 26.
Or does it depend on the record?
We'll be relevant when we play on Christmas again. Like, I want to play like the Nets on Christmas. Okay. You know, the NBA is only going to put its marquee games, its marquee teams on Christmas now. The LeBrons, the KDs, Giannis is
So
the
okay, so let me understand exactly what Hoodie Kev is saying right now, right? Because correct me if I'm wrong, people in the chat and people on the panel. When we started this conversation, the conversation started with how would Knicks fans feel if we didn't make the playoffs coming up in the future, right? So now we're relegated to saying how how we feel at the end of the season if we can play on Christmas. Am I missing something? Help me. Somebody help me,
we
please.
will be good if we're on Christmas. But we need that marquee player. We need him.
I don't. Okay.
I'm just saying that I still think that we're gonna move up.
Lord, you know what
In
I
the
miss right
draft,
now? I
right? You
miss
talk
my
about in the
recliner.
draft, right,
I need to
Ethan?
be able to recline right now, and I can't. And it's killing me. Oh my God, it's killing me. Okay, yeah, I agree, Ethan. I agree. I agree. So when we start talking about marquee players, we start talking about these prospective free agents, people that are not free agents, and all these moves. All that is very it's draining on my soul and my psyche, right? Because I can't control what's going on in somebody else's mind. Rocket, let me ask you a question, brother. Let
Mhm.
me ask you a question. So if you had to pick a specific player, any player that we think in our minds that will be available to come to the Knicks in the offseason, who would you go after? Any position and whatever, just in your mind, what will be that franchise? I'm not gonna call him a franchise player. What would be that player that you would go after to say, hey, this guy right here could be a benefit to this team and get us to where we're trying to go to?
Talking about like free agents like this whole season. Like
Yeah,
I don't want to met any more of these journeymen. Like I don't want to see these over the hill NBA free agents. That's not going anywhere. Like I don't know. It's like toss up right now.
and you say something that's very poignant and genuine because when you put people have a lot of opinions about this person could be the catalyst to spark us to do this, that, and the third, right?
I want
But
to see
if it
somebody just coming in there hungry. I want to see somebody that's coming in there hungry right now, like, and somebody that's just organic, like, just give us something like Emmanuel quickly and Obi Toppin did in the playoffs. Like, I want somebody that's going to show up when it counts. Like, those players came in there and we didn't expect them to have such a great show up in the post season, like in the playoffs, how they did. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree 100%.
we thought
So
Julius Randle was going to take it to the next step, and he degressed in the playoffs,
in the playoffs, yeah, he did that.
and he degressed. It was like, all right, you did all that in the regular season. Him and RJ Barrett played 72 games, 72 and 71 games, and it was there consistently, right?
Yep.
And then in the playoffs, it was like, all right, they kept guaranteeing after game, and it was like nothing
So
happened. Like Reggie Bell gave us
interesting.
a straight dud.
It's interesting that you
All those
bring that point
journeymen,
up. So
all those journeymen was like there was nothing.
let me ask you this question: do you think that the amount of minutes that RJ and Randall played during the season had an effect on their playoff performance?
You think they hit the wall? You just what you asked me. You think they hit the
Yeah,
wall? What Tom
yeah,
Thibodeau was doing, and then
yes,
he didn't dig deeper into the bench, and we
yes,
saw players were not healthy.
absolutely. That's exactly
We
what I'm
saw
asking.
players weren't healthy, and we had those healthy bodies ready to like. All right, they was jumping up on the sidelines and was ready to get in the game, and we didn't even
That's
try to do anything
yes,
with them. And
yes,
then we saw with the Atlanta Hawks and Nate McMillan was like, all right, he kept maneuvering fresh bodies in there, and we didn't do that. When we saw Derrick Rose, and after those 2 games of starting, he started limping around on the court, and we didn't go to those healthy
absolutely.
bodies. It was like, what we doing? It was like, all right, we gave up on team. We didn't do what we didn't stick to our team. You know how we started hopping on the Big 15, and it wasn't the Big 15 anymore. It started turning into the Big 14, 14, 13, 12, 11, and it started
going down.
It started going down. It started like, all right, everybody started playing for self, and then we lost the whole concept of team in that playoff series, and Atlanta exposed that, and now Atlanta is exposing everybody else because we gave them the confidence to keep it moving forward.
And the blueprint.
Yeah, and now they are feasting on every team that they're playing because they took that game one from us, and now they're taking the game one from everybody else in the playoffs.
Hold on, about the Bucks and Hawks game. Budenholzer needs to get fired if they lose this series because that was the worst defensive scheme I've seen in a long time. When they were playing Trae Young on the pick and roll, he made the big sag below the free throw line, so it's just been like a 2-on-1 between Collins and Trae Young against Drew Holiday because he made the big sag below the free throw line. So Trae Young was getting floaters and open threes the whole time. That was horrible.
Yeah, straight facts.
So Ethan, same question to you that I posed to Mr. Rocket. So who do you think that comes in here or that we could potentially get that comes in here that makes that the impact and what we're actually looking for from a free agent standpoint, not the draft, but free agent?
Nobody in free agency.
So you don't think there's no one out there that can potentially come in here and make an impact on our team as currently constructed right now?
I mean, not a big impact. Like I don't see any.
In the free agency, they got to fit the scheme that we've been, like, you know, they got to fit that scheme that blueprint that we laid down this season. They gotta fit that same mold, and it can't be just those type of journeymen. We gotta go spend that money and go get somebody that's gonna be like, all right, you see the roles, how you see the bar that we set.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta put some pieces in there that's gonna elevate in that 3 spot. We gotta improve in that 3 spot, and we definitely gotta improve at the point. But if they can build Buildozer's gonna do that, and if you know what I'm saying.
G-Man, I'm with you, and I ain't gonna name no names, but I feel like this, right? I feel like, can we find somebody that can help move the needle? Yeah, we can. Whoever that person might be, but at the end of the day, at the same time, we have to rely on what we've been preaching and saying about our front office and our coaching staff, and whatever those guys are gonna do, because this is like, it's crazy because when we get into our speculation, we can go many a ways, but at the end of the day, only one of those ways is gonna be the right way.
You see how they all at the combine.
And I'm not trying to drop names.
Front office was over there.
I'm signing on G-Man's page. I'm not trying to drop names, but whoever we get, there is somebody out there that could possibly help us move the needle. Whoever it is who they is.
I think we're gonna get a wing in the draft.
So I will ask this question and just kind of again. Go ahead, City.
Real quick. See, I was on the wing thing for a minute, but I really feel like we need a big that can shoot it from the outside.
He's not scared to shoot. Like, I mean, you see what Mitchell Robinson's doing, but he's scared to let it go from like 2 feet away from the basket. Like, man, we can't keep suffering at the center position. Like, we can't.
And of course, we need more than that. But I'm on that train of we need a big man that can shoot from the outside.
Yeah, like somebody that can stretch the floor. Like, we can't keep suffering. Like I just said, we can't keep suffering at that 5 spot.
So, and to kind of bring the conversation back to center, to Hoodie Kev's original question, based on the conversation that we just had over the last 5-10 minutes, Are you guys okay? Or is your psyche going to be okay with either not making a move or not going to get a marquee name type free agent? To where what we're doing at this point is we are continuing to build upon our past season with the players that are because what I think how many players do we have on the roster right now in the contract? Like 5 out of 15,
Something like that. Something
and
like that.
everybody else is a free agent at this point. So we don't know who's coming back and who's not. So our team is going to look drastically different than the team that we put on the court last season, potentially, right? So the question would be, are you okay with the product that will get rolled out on the floor if we don't have any big marquee names and we don't make any kind of the same circumstance that we were in after the mid-season free agent move when we didn't make any moves. Our move was made way beforehand when we brought Derrick Rose into the picture. Are you guys okay with that?
I'm okay with.
We gotta get it cooking straight from off the jump.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, we got to get it cooking straight off the rip. This we can't wait till mid-season to figure out what we're doing with that Derrick Rose. That was kind of like borderline insanity. We was like teetering, and then we went Derrick Rose, and then it just flipped, like that switch flipped right there. But like even that couldn't even get us into a deep playoff run. Like,
Okay, so Mr. Rocky, let me ask you this. At the beginning of the season, was your expectation for the New York Knicks to make a deep playoff run?
yeah, like I saw the chemistry. I knew something was gonna click. Even going from back season when Mike Miller took over, I seen the spark right there. When we got Fizdale out the building and Mike Miller came in there and he kind of like was pushing the envelope a little bit. I seen something coming this year. I thought we could make the playoffs, but I didn't think we was gonna be like as nasty as how we was. We showed something. We showed something. Like it was something there. That's why everybody was so in tune. You know what I'm saying? That's why we was all engaged like how we was. This was one of the best seasons that we had in years.
So
Now
I
it's
didn't
time
have
to like move the envelope. It's time to go. Like we ain't gonna keep. It's time to go. It's go time. Like let's go. Like
I agree to a certain aspect.
that's why
However, I was not that
that's why all the
optimistic.
front office guys at the combine like all there. They all there. Like you don't see that like how you don't see that all the time. They all there. So
So
everybody's engaged. Like so everybody's watching. Like and we showed like all right. Everybody's watching New York now. So
yeah, I agree. And to hit Kev's point, when he brought this topic of conversation up, that kind of speaks to the different sides of the fences, right? So we have a side of the fence that we want to go all in, and if we fail, then we fail. And then we have the side of the fence that says, we want to continue to kind of grow this thing at a snail's pace. And then you have those people in the middle that have a little bit of both of those outlooks in what we're looking at. And I think it's important, to Kev's point, that we kind of step back, take a look at what our expectations really are and how we would garner whether we're successful or we're a failure after we go through this next season. But make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen, what we do right now in the draft, in free agency, and the product that we put on the court day one when the season starts is going to matter. And people from this day, from us sitting on the pod right now talking about this right now, until the time that we hit that first game, regular season game, is going to matter. And all these moves that the front office, as much praise as we heap on the front office at this point, because they have done nothing to negate the praise that they're receiving. If they booking this up, trust and believe, the fandom, you will quickly understand that the benefits that you're receiving, the love that you're receiving from the Knicks family is great. booger that up, and see what happens. That's all I'm saying. It's not a threat.
Let
Go ahead,
let
Sidney.
me say
Go
this
ahead.
real quick, man. Let me say this real quick, man. Let me give a shout out to Long Island Sound One because I respect your comment, bro. Long Island said the claw is a dream. Westbrook is more realistic. I respect that, bro. I like honestly, Long Island Sound One. I respect that, bro. That's legit, straight up. Like I feel you on that one. Like you know what I'm saying. Like when I say look, I'm with you on that one, bro. I am with you on that one, for sure, for real, like straight up, yo. I'm with it. I'm like yo, I'm with it. I appreciate that. We appreciate that, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I think at the end of the day, everyone's entitled to their opinion on who they want to see come to the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not wrapped around a specific name. What I'm looking for is the talent and the contribution that the talent brings to the roster. That's all I'm concerned with. Um, I think that in the draft, again, I think that we need to use these draft picks to move up and get a player. I'm not going to say which player, but we need to move up and get a player. We can't stand pat at 19 and 21. I don't think that's going to be beneficial to us at this point. Moving up in the draft and get a steal. I still think that these guys do enough research on a day-to-day basis to figure out who those players are that's in the draft that could fit our scheme and kind of how we're building this team. That's kind of where I'm at with the draft. And then after we get past the draft, then we'll start talking about free agents. I don't like to put the cart before the horse because I'm telling you right now, the people that you're thinking about right now, as far as a free agent, may change depending on who the Knicks get in the draft. I'm just saying, it happens that way. So you can't put the cart before the horse. Let's stay the course and trust. I don't believe I'm about to say this. This euphemism that Philly has lived by forever. Trust the process. Yeah, it's the process, right? I'm gonna say trust the front office. I'm not gonna say trust the process. I'm gonna say trust the front office and how they prioritize the moves that they make or the moves that they don't make, and go from there. Kev, I don't want you to fall asleep on me, brother. Because the further you lean back in that, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you lean back in that chair, my chairs are not that stable, and you're a big man, so I don't know if your chair can hold you in that position for a period of time. All of Dark City
Listen,
building.
I um
Yeah.
I am
Mm,
well aware
mm,
of the people who are pro draft. I'm
right.
well aware of your stance. I respect it.
Okay.
I
But
respect
there's
that you
always a
want
but.
to I respect that you want to go slow and spin wisely and blase blah blah blah.
Right. But get to the but. What's the but? That's what I want to know. What's the but?
But you all are wrong.
Okay.
Wrong in more ways than I can even count.
Begin to explain. Okay. So let me ask you this. I'm gonna help you out, Kev. So if that take or that stance is wrong, point one, in the draft, you have been on record as saying you don't care about the draft, you don't want anyone out of the draft. So what do you do with the draft picks? Is my question. That we
Go
have.
get somebody.
Huh?
You go get someone.
Okay. So but to your statement, you saying when I asked you what do you want to see in the draft? You said I don't care about I don't draft anybody. So you say you go get someone. Are we just picking someone just for the sake of picking them, or are we picking someone to?
Whoever they get that warrant 2 first-round draft picks. Listen, I need somebody that I know every single game is gonna get me 20 points a game. Like, I know when the buzzer starts at the end, when the clock says 0-0-0, on that box score on the points scored is gonna have a 2 in front of it.
And you want that out of the draft. You getting that person out of the draft.
Out the draft? Oh
Yeah.
no, that person doesn't exist.
Okay. Okay.
I guarantee. Nobody in this 60-man draft in the 2021-2022 season is going to get 20 points a game. Not one player from 1 to 60, because it's 60 picks.
Right.
From 1 to 60 in the 2021-2022 NBA draft class will average 22 points next season. 20 points next season. Not one player.
You know, I think that again, these players can't dictate the playing time they're going to get or where they fit in on whatever scheme that they go into in these organizations that they would enter into. So a smart person wouldn't take that bet because, again, there are a lot of unknowns out there that these players are not in control of. That is no indictment on what their potential contribution would be to the team. What they are a victim of, they're a victim of being young, being rookies in the NBA, the coaches not trusting what their input will be or will not be, and putting them in a situation for them to be able to perform. I say all that to say this. That's a safe bet that you made because you don't know what you don't know at this point. You just don't. But do not ever underestimate the power, the spirit, the young spirit that's coming to an event or an organization feeling like they can make a change.
I would put everything in my whole bank account. And you can bookmark this. There's not one player that's going to be drafted that's going to average more than 20 points a game next season.
You just said that. And you said,
and I'm saying that is I don't know it, but I believe it's a fact.
Okay, so okay, so that's a safe bet because you said
this is a Cade Cunningham's, the Kumingas, the Jalen Greens, the Josh Suggs, the what's the kid from the center from UCLA?
We're not even sure if we're gonna draft anybody. So
no, I'm saying period. Anybody, no one on any team, not one player will average 20 points a game.
I'll take that bet. I will take that bet. You know
and
why?
I will take whatever you want to give me.
Yeah, what's the bet, Cam? Just tell me what the bet is, because I'm gonna tell you why. Every season there's a sleeper that we don't see. But then what we
Who led all rookies this past season in points per game? You know who?
Tell us, almighty one.
Anthony Edwards. You know what he averaged?
What?
19. And Anthony Edwards had the green light. So he only averaged 19 points a game.
Let me ask you this. What was Ja Morant's average his rookie season?
Like 17, 18.
Okay. So 20 points for you is that's a safe bet for you. But guess what? I have faith. Whitney Houston comes to my mind when I'm about to say what I say, right? I believe the youth is our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. You know what I'm saying?
We have youth on this team.
That's inside.
RJ Barrett is young. Kevin Knox is young. Obi Toppin is young. Emmanuel Quickly is young. Mitchell Robinson is young. We have youth already.
No,
How
no.
much younger do
Raise
you
it up.
want to get?
Those are not the people
Let's
we're talking
go.
about right now.
No,
The
you
people,
said the youth. We
the
have
youth.
youth. It's
The youth.
time to get some experience.
Okay, so Kev, this is what I want you to understand, right? What we're talking about right now is not the people that we have on the team of the
The young
DNA.
people, I don't
That's
care
not what
who
we're
they
talking about.
are, is not going to help this team. Whoever it is, they will not help this team compete for a playoff spot next season.
Okay,
We
so
will be on the if we draft 3 players out this draft, we're gonna be on the outside looking in.
okay,
I don't care who we get. We're going to be on the outside looking in.
okay, so Kev, I'm gonna help you save you from yourself because what you're doing right now, you're changing the narrative. The narrative of the conversation is who do we think we could bring in the off season that benefits us moving forward in the next season. We start talking about young players, right? So the young players that we're talking about, the gifted people that we're talking about, that you said when not no person in this draft class will have a 20-point average this season. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that bet. And we off camera, we're gonna discuss what that bet is gonna be. But I'm taking all that right there. You know what I'm telling you right now? Every draft class, there is a surprise in the class. Every draft class. Because I'm telling you right now, coming out of college, if people looked at a Michael Jeffrey Jordan coming out of college, they didn't see his upside.
Yeah, they did. No. That is not true. Everybody and their mama knew Jordan was going to be a star.
Okay,
Everybody knew that.
Here we go. Revisionist history, right? Because we know what Jordan turned out to be.
No,
But
you
can
knew
you
Michael
tell
Jordan
me?
was special at UNC. You knew
I
once
did.
he was
I knew.
unleashed,
I knew.
everybody knew. He was taking third, not 34th. There's a reason he was third in the draft. It wasn't because
Listen,
whatever they
listen,
knew Michael Jordan was going to be
listen to
good.
me.
Did they think no? Did they think he was going to be the greatest ever? No,
You
they
almost
did. But you knew Michael Jordan was going to be good.
No, you
Yo,
almost
you're
made
gonna
me
make
use a
G-Man
four-letter
get
word.
kicked out of
Oh
his
my God,
spot.
out of the hotel. I'm about to get kicked out of the hotel. Because I
You
mean,
about to
No,
make G-Man
everybody
get
knew
kicked out of his
Michael
spot.
listen to
Jordan.
me.
Everybody knew
What-
Michael Jordan would be. Did they think he was going to be the greatest
what-
player of all
what
time?
position?
Probably
What-
not. But they
Mm-mm.
knew he was going to be good.
Hell no. Cam, listen to me. What position was Jordan drafted at? What position did he go? Was he number
Third.
one draft pick?
No.
Okay, so if he was all this and all that, why was he not the number one draft pick?
You got to be number one to be everything in the
Here
world.
we go.
So to be third, that's a
Here we
slight.
go. Here we
Third
go.
overall.
You are not going to change the narrative on me, Kev. What you're saying to me, if you're great, if everyone understands that you are great, why are you not number one?
I didn't
That's
say
my
good.
point.
I said everybody knew Michael Jordan was going to be a good basketball player. You knew Michael Jordan was going to be good.
Yeah, but how many
Nobody
people
thought
knew,
Michael Jordan was going
how
to
many
be bad.
people, hold
You
on,
knew
let me
he
ask
was
you a
going to be
question.
good. Everybody knew
Listen,
Michael
no.
Jordan was going to be good.
Let me ask you a question. How many people, right, thought that certain players were gonna be great and they never amounted to nothing?
To nothing. They
That's
were
why
bust.
you have a draft. I mean, that's the whole purpose because you don't know. Nobody knows.
Exactly. So
If that was the case, you think Portland would have took Sam Bowie if they would have knew? No.
I'm just asking. I'm just proposing the question, bro. That's all.
And the
I'm doing.
only
I'm throwing
reason,
the question
the
right
only
now.
reason Portland didn't take Michael Jordan
Why?
is because they
Yes.
had an all-star guard already,
Oh my God.
and
Stop the madness.
and
Stop the madness
What?
right now.
and
Stop it, Kev.
who did they take?
What?
Who did they take the year before they took Michael Jordan?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you know what? That I don't know, so I can't even act all crazy.
I don't know.
Right now.
I don't care.
I don't know.
I don't know, and I don't
That
care.
I don't know. That I don't know,
Another.
so I ain't even
He
gonna
just
try to-
happens
I
to
ain't even gonna
be
try to be crazy.
another Hall of Fame Hall of Fame player.
Who is it?
Clyde Drexler.
So are you saying
So
because that
so Jim Paxson, you remember Jim Paxson?
I remember Jim Paxson, yes.
Jim Paxson was an all-star guard.
Okay, when was he drafted? At what position?
Who, Jim Paxson?
Yeah, Jim Paxson.
Can
When
we?
was he
I don't
drafted?
remember.
What?
At what
Wait,
position?
wait, wait, wait.
I just
wait,
know
wait,
at
wait,
the
wait.
time of the 84 draft, Jim Paxson was an all-star guard. They had
I
just
get it. We talking
drafted.
about this. Do we have
They
to
had
scroll
just
down memory lane?
drafted Clyde Drexler,
So
who also turned out to be a Hall of Fame player also. So even though you knew Michael Jordan was good, right? You like, yeah, this kid gonna be good, but we already got this other kid, Drexler. He's gonna be good too. We still got Paxson. We really need a big man. So let's get Bowie, because we think Bowie's gonna be good too.
so let me answer my
And
man.
mind you, the guy who went number one, the guy who just happened to go number one that draft, you might have heard of him too. His name is Akeem Olajuwon.
And in what draft?
So,
with Jordan?
Yes.
Okay.
Akeem Olajuwon went number one.
I am not saying
So let's not act like, Sam Perkins went number one or something.
So here we go. Here we go right here, right? So what I'm not going to do with you is this. I am not going to let you degrade the position that a Michael Jordan went. My point is this: is who did you say went first in that draft? Akeem? Akeem
Yes.
was the number one draft pick?
Number one.
Is Akeem Olajuwon right now today revered as the best basketball player in the world?
No.
Who is that person that's revered as the best basketball player in the world?
Michael Jordan.
Okay, so my point is this: where you're drafted in the NBA draft is irrelevant, because what you do after you make the position, after you're on a team, is what's important. What we're talking about right now, apples and oranges, right? I was drafted here, but I did this. You know what I'm saying? All that's irrelevant to me at this point, because you can get people that are drafted at a certain position just because the team, not even that the team wants you, Kev. Not even that the team wants you. What I just look, Hoodie Kev and G-Man for Life just had a conversation with Freezy in the back, right? So what I'm saying right now is Sidney for real is about to come up on the draft board. Kev wants him. Kev thinks that Sidney for real could be a impact on his squad, but he don't have the pick. G-Man for Life has the pick. So Kev and G-Man's conversation is, I will pick Sidney for real and trade him to you, but this is what I need in return. That's how the NBA works, right? So when you drafted that, all that, miss me with all that. I don't care about none.
Wait. Time out. What am I getting traded to, and why am I getting traded? The only thing I heard was my name getting traded, and I don't like the sound. I don't like the sound of getting traded. Hold on, what? So we can't say any bad words right now. But let me say something that Kev would say. For the love of Fred and Barney, what are y'all talking about trading me to somebody else or something like that? Only thing I heard was my name getting traded, and I'm not getting traded. You know what? Whatever. All right. Bleep, bleep, bleep. All right. Okay. That's what we do right now. Because I'm not getting.
At the end of the day,
I'm not getting traded, bro.
When we
I
talk
don't know
about,
what y'all talking about.
when we talk about,
me.
when we talk about,
Kidding me?
You're safe.
Are you kidding me?
Look, your stock is safe, baby. You know what I'm saying? You good. So what I'm saying is, when we're talking about these draft picks that we have or don't have, or the people that's calling us, because Leon Rose and those guys in the front office are getting calls about, hey, you want to trade up, you want to, do something with your draft picks or whatever the case may be. They're getting these phone calls. And I have to believe in my heart of hearts that they're putting the team at the forefront of what we got going on. But I don't know. I just don't know. I know what I want to see. And then I know what my limitations will be if the actions do not meet those expectations. Then I'm gonna have a whole lot to say about a whole lot of people that had a whole lot of impact on this offseason. So I'm gonna do the I'm gonna hold to the wait and see aspect of what we got going on. But guys, check this out. It's actually 3 something in the morning, East Coast time. I am in Central time right now, but I'm moving to East Coast time, so I got to be on my game. You know what I'm saying? But as always, thank you for having me, Kev. Thank you for putting up with my rants as I go on with these diatribes and whatnot.
Hey, so does that mean you retract your trade me statement?
Yeah, I will retract the Trade City statement. I will retract that statement. Absolutely. City, I always want you on the team, baby. Always want you on the team.
I appreciate it.
For sure.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
So I'm gonna jump off, fellas, and but I'm always watching. I'm always paying attention to what you guys got going on, and you guys are what's positive for the Knicks verse. You know what I'm saying? There are only a couple outlets out there that give that positive momentum for a New York Knicks fan base. Because we could be all over the place. We could be scatterbrained. We could think one thing one day and think another thing the next day. But this kind of platform right here, it brings everything to center, right? And I thank you guys for that. Uncle Freezy, I need you to wake up and do the thing that you do. But I'm telling you right now, hey, next week I'm gonna be back in my recliner.
Listen, if we're gonna do this, Uncle Freezy, take us out the right way, man. Drop us out with the outro. If this is what we're gonna do,
I know you've been going for a while, but Uncle Freezy is gonna come on here and he's gonna just say the end.
Even if he does, but I'm just asking for it. Even if he does, that's okay. I'm just asking for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm